Welcome to episode 95-ish of Converse in the Ninjaverse. I'm Will.
I'm Chris.
I'm Mike.
And yes, we had a couple weeks off. Shit's in the works.
Some intentional, some unintentional.
Yes. But we're all good. We're all this week. Which, let's just do a show note at the top of the show. It might be a little difficult to find us for a week or two because we switched podcast servers, so we're actually going to be hosted by SoundCloud. So I'm in the process of updating all the links. So we'll blast the Facebook and Twitter and all that stuff out there. So I wanted to just cover
something like that.
First. Yeah.
We'll do some science, make it right.
Yeah.
Make it right.
We'll
Bitches.
send smoke signals.
Carrier pigeons. Definitely carrier pigeons.
Yes, fighting carrier pigeons.
Ooh, fighting.
I'm gonna do this whole like street advertising graffiti campaign.
You're just drawing with a piece of chalk on the street.
Just the big thick Crayola chalk. Just
then it's gonna rain. Nobody's gonna know.
Nope, nobody's gonna know.
Terrible. All right. Well, are we talking about the box office? Do we have the box office?
We have the box. We always have the box office.
Let's do the box office.
So the box office. Coming in at number 1 this week was Gone Girl, the new Ben Affleck movie, which I actually had to look up and see what it was, but you guys remembered kind of what it was about.
Yeah. It's a thriller. It's a mystery thriller type of thing. Did he kill his wife? Didn't he kill his wife? Is she dead? Isn't she dead?
He fights his wife in the playground park with a bunch of kids watching.
That happens.
Yes.
Neil Patrick Harris happens. There's stuff.
He's blind. Drives around a cool car.
It definitely seems it has Oscar bait written all over it. It's one of those films, but it doesn't seem like it's not like an overly artsy Oscar movie.
No,
Right, fair enough.
Oh, and I was watching a commercial for it.
Not like Corazon de Muerte or whatever is going to win the Oscars this year. Yeah, it's going to be something like a foreign movie. Yeah, I spoke a whole.
You know what? I'll say this about it from the commercial.
And he was probably completely incorrect too.
No, I mean, my heart.
Your heart was in it.
My heart's death.
My heart will go on.
Oh, that's kind of cool.
My heart's death is actually a really good title for something.
Yeah,
that's a band name.
It does.
Right? Or like an album, like a Santana album.
Santana album.
Yes.
But Gone Girl took in $37.5 million this weekend.
And I will say this about it on a side note: it might be the only Tyler Perry movie I ever want to see.
I didn't even realize he was in it except for the 5 seconds he was in the commercial.
Yeah, he's in the commercial. I'm like, hey, that's Tyler Perry.
I didn't even know he was in it. But, okay. Coming in at number 2 is a movie that I will not go see.
Twilight 4.
Annabelle.
Oh, no.
Oh, I definitely want to go see that.
No.
Oh, and that just barely missed number 1.
It did.
You know what? That could
Gone Girl was 37.5. This was 37.1. So, I mean, it just barely.
Fuck that movie.
Yeah, no, not going to.
Now, the real life Annabelle is actually a Raggedy Ann doll. I don't know if you.
Yes, I did see that article.
No, the Annabelle as a whole. Yeah, The Conjuring is somewhat based on a true story of these paranormal investigators. Annabelle spawned out of The Conjuring.
Well, I knew that.
The real life Annabelle doll is actually a Raggedy Ann doll.
Burn it. With fire.
I don't
when that fire's out, burn it again.
I don't delve into the history of it because I don't do that shit. But yeah, it's based on like a real Raggedy Ann doll that keeps showing up in places. So fuck.
This sounds more like a story for Tales from the Ninjaverse.
Well, you guys are going.
Which was supposed to become a regular show, but we haven't done it in 2 months. Yay us!
Listen, we're gonna change that.
That show had some issues too.
Always does. Number 3 was The Equalizer, the Denzel Washington movie based on the 80s TV show.
From CBS.
That took in a little over $18.5 million, $64 million total, and that was in, I guess, second week.
Yeah, second week.
Number 4 was The Box Trolls, made about $12 million, $32 million for the weekend.
That just sounds way too much.
$32 million total.
That sounds way too much like Pillow Pants.
It does. It really does. But, I've heard good things about that too, so I'll check that out at some point. And then coming in at number 5 with a little over $11 million was The Maze Runner, which again is one of those young adult novels.
God damn it, young adults.
Now, I just pulled up the top 10. I know we usually only do the top 5 on occasion, and we'll talk about something like Guardians of the Galaxy still holding in there at number 9.
Is it really?
It is.
Good for
10
you.
weeks in, it made $3
Go
million.
Guardians.
$323.33 million.
It's in the dollar movie theaters now, so go get it.
It's not. I'm waiting for it to show up across the street, and it hasn't yet.
Really?
Lucy's over there though, so I might go see Lucy.
I might bring my 7-year-old nephew to go see Guardians of the Galaxy. I think he's ready for it.
Yes.
But what I noticed here, just missing the top 5. Not just missing. I mean, it missed by $5 million, but coming in with 6.3 million left behind.
Oh, the Jesus Rapture movie with Nicolas Cage, right?
With Nicolas Cage.
There was a new Jesus Rapture movie?
Yes.
They remade
Kirk Cameron's
Kirk Cameron's Left Behind, big budget theatrical release starring Nicolas Cage, Leah Thompson, Chad Michael Murray.
Wow, I must be living under a rock because I didn't even know.
I remember hearing about it, but I saw not one commercial or preview or anything for it. So I thought maybe it kind of went away.
I think it was only running commercials in certain places because it's
Like
not.
The Bible.
I know I'm not allowed to say this isn't for us, but
Oh, it's not for us.
this isn't really for us. This is. I'm sure in the Midwest they were all because box trolls has got to be a sin.
Listen, that's like when I worked at Blockbuster back in the day. Manahawk and Blockbuster, 2 copies of The Players Club starring Bill Bellamy. Lakewood Blockbuster, an entire fucking wall of The Players Club. Different demographics. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, this is.
But that Manahawk and Blockbuster still had 82 copies of Banjo-Kazooie.
Yes, it did. Yes, it did.
The bane of my existence.
Oh my god!
I almost downloaded it for the Xbox, just because I was just like, you know what? I've never played this game. It's haunted me for 15 years now. I probably should play this game.
Just as a side note, before we get back into Left Behind, Banjo-Kazooie made me think of one of the characters for the new Smash Brothers for the DS, Duck Hunt Dog. It's the dog with the duck on his back that flies him around like Banjo-Kazooie.
That's kind of cool.
Okay.
And he laughs at you, and his attacks is he throws people from Hogan's Alley at you when they shoot you.
Nice.
That's awesome. That's awesome. I think I need a 3DS.
Dude, I picked up a cheap one just to have it, and I'm loving it. I got that and Animal Crossing and Pokemon, and I'm happy.
Nice.
I miss me some Pokemon.
Dude, the new Pokemon, I know there's a new one coming out in November, but Pokemon X and Y, the newest ones right now, it's like a whole new fucking game. Like, everything's all nice, and it's not just an overhead view, and like it's all fucking big-ass buildings and cities and shit.
Oh, that's cool.
The Pokemon actually move instead of just being like shaky.
Instead of just standing there.
Yeah.
I was very anti-Pokemon. I would never play Pokemon. And then I was working at a photo lab in Tuckerton, and nobody would come in, and somebody who might be on this podcast let me borrow his Game Boy, and I played the shit out of that game for hours a day. Got paid to play Pokemon. It was wonderful.
Yeah. And a little side note, but yeah, Duck Hunt Dog, he's fucking great. Nice. And he laughs at you. You still want to punch that motherfucker. All right, continue.
So violent. I'm the violent one.
Listen, me and Duck Hunt Dog got a long-standing hatred. Fuck that dog.
The hell did Duck Hunt Dog
that's gonna be on Will's tombstone. Fuck that dog. Not beloved husband, loving father.
And in parentheses, we have to put Duck Hunt Dog so people know what dog he meant.
I'm just gonna make sure it says "fuck that dog."
So
people see that 100 years from now, people see that tombstone and go, "Oh,
just that dog
so
and his tombstone."
wrong."
He hated that dog to the grave.
Oh, get a mechanical tombstone so that when people walk past it, the dog pops up and laughs.
Well, I mean, that could be possible for like a future tombstone, like a digital tombstone.
I want that.
I want that too.
All right, I call Duck Hunt Dog.
You can have that dog. You can have Duck Hunt Dog.
And you can buy my casket at Costco.
Mm-hmm.
Nice. fireplace.
All right.
Oh.
Are we going back to Left Behind?
There's not really much to say about
No,
Left
it's
Behind.
Left
I mean,
Behind.
people who know Left Behind know Left Behind. This
I
is
just
something
think
I
it's
feel like
overacting.
I'm gonna have to watch.
Yeah, just if anything, just for the overacting of Nicolas Cage.
It got a 3.8 rating on
of
IMDb
Out of 5?
out of 10.
Oh. I was kind of going like, oh, all right, yeah, that's not too bad. Out of 10?
Yeah, that's a thing.
Non-Oscars? No?
I don't know if we're gonna see any Oscars here.
That one's a special effects Oscar over Guardians.
I'm sure it'll win the special effects instead of Guardians. Yes, if that and Guardians are up for something, they won't give it to the comic book movie.
No. Oh my God, that'd be terrible.
God damn it.
But I feel like this is something that me and the mole are gonna watch on a quiet night one day and laugh our asses off.
Turn the lights down, pop some popcorn, and watch the Raptor.
Yes.
Have a fire going in the fireplace.
Oh,
Love me
that's
some
a
Nicolas
turn.
Cage.
That took a turn.
Yes.
yeah. I wonder if is Kirk Cameron in there. Does he have a cameo?
I'm looking. I do not see a Kirk Cameron cameo at all.
That's a shame.
I see Jordan Sparks.
Really?
I see. Yes. She's in there. Hold on. Full cast.
You see The Rock signed on for the Baywatch movie?
Yes.
Did he really?
Yeah.
He's playing Hasselhoff's character.
Fantastic. It couldn't be better. I want The Rock to play every Hasselhoff character ever. I want the Knight Rider with The Rock.
He was almost in Spy Hunter. That movie never happened.
Right? Yeah.
I
I
wanna
forgot about
see-
Spy Hunter. They
I
talked about
wanna
that
see-
forever.
I want to see The Rock in the light-up jacket singing on the Berlin Wall.
Oh my God, he'd kill. He would crush it.
Yeah.
They made that Spy Hunter
Start
game.
building the
though, to tie
Berlin
in
Wall
with the
again. Get on that.
movie. They made that Spy Hunter game to tie in with the movie. It's just the movie never.
Tell
took
those
it.
Nazis to leave your mom alone and start building the Berlin Wall.
Yeah, he's not. The Nazis have been leaving my mom alone.
I know, we haven't had a scenario yet where the Nazis have to take your mom.
I had one.
We had one last week, and then I forgot what it was.
What it was.
Yeah.
Mom is safe for another week.
I think it was. Oh, it was. I remember.
God damn it!
I remember. It's what we're gonna make at Christmas time. I remember. If Nazis got your mom, and you have to choose one meal to eat, which one is it gonna be? The burger I had at PAX, which was let's refresh people's memory. The Krispy Kreme grilled cheese bacon cheeseburger,
And for
or
those of you that don't know, it's on YouTube. Look for
it
it.
is on YouTube, and that video is fucking hilarious, and I hate you. Or
I'm an editing genius.
or the pizza cake.
Well, that's a tough one, but just because it's the grilled cheese kind of puts it over the edge, I think I'm going pizza cake now.
Oh, the pizza cake.
I changed my mind, and we're going pizza cake
We are totally making the pizza cake at Christmas time.
because I need to be fatter.
Listen, it's
Yeah.
Festivus. You eat food, and
I'm
you
gonna eat that. My heart is gonna explode.
Listen, your heart will
It's
go
gonna
on.
be and just dead.
Your heart will
I
go
won't
on.
even get to enjoy it. I won't get to taste it.
Listen, you know what else we're gonna have? Hopefully, by the time Festivus rolls around, WWE No Mercy on the N64 cage match, motherfucker. Remember that cage match?
I do. The cage match that lasted 2 hours.
Yes. we literally had a cage match on I think it was either WrestleMania 2000 or No Mercy.
No, it was No Mercy.
It went backstage. It went everywhere. We left the cage. We came back to the cage. 2 hours. We were literally playing.
We were sweating.
Was No Mercy the one that you could build a guy and then give him 4 outfits?
Yes.
That was one of my favorite ones.
I was in my Cactus Jack outfit almost. That was a long ass cage match.
That was.
And
I
I
had
won.
an awesome me in that.
We had great
I had
characters.
me in a wrestling singlet. I had me in jeans and a leather jacket. I had me in a Hawaiian shirt and shorts.
Which is kind of you on a
It was
daily basis.
it was everything that I wear.
It was casual day.
It was casual day. It was casual day at the office.
Yes.
Yes.
All right, where
We
are we going
sidetracked.
next?
We got way
Way off track. Somehow,
Okay.
some way, we tied Left Behind into WWE.
Well, to wrap it all up, and after further research, Kirk Cameron is not involved in the remake of Left Behind.
Is Candace Cameron?
No.
Damn it.
Neither is Candace Cameron. But she's still hot.
She really is. All right, moving on. We have been off the air for a couple weeks. News that the Deadpool movie is finally coming out. It has a release date, Valentine's Day 2016.
Which I'm excited about.
I'm going to watch the fuck out of it.
I'm just curious as to how Fox is going to fuck this movie up.
Yes, because now this week they announced, 10 hours ago actually, that it will exist in the current X-Men cinematic universe.
Balls.
Which originally it was supposed to be separate because it was going to make fun of itself from Wolverine Origins. Now, I guess I still haven't watched Days of Future Past. I have it, and I haven't watched it yet. But apparently Days of Future Past resets everything, so it might work. I don't know.
Yes, Days of Future Past resets everything. And if you're going to have a character that breaks the fourth wall anyway, he can reference things outside of context because he's outside of context.
True. But
I need a movie of my life that resets everything.
Yes. Need to
just that button. Just go.
Like in Click. Except I want Christopher Walken to narrate my life.
Remember when they made Click the first time when it was called Mr. Destiny?
Yes.
Was that with Jim Belushi?
Yes. I went to high school with the kid who played young Jim Belushi in that.
Really?
Yeah. I saw him get the ever-loving shit kicked out of him one time in the hallway.
Fantastic.
You hate me now, but I'm Jim Belushi.
He had already been Jim Belushi at that point.
Well,
that's why
they kicked it out.
Damn.
God damn it! Stop Jim Belushi now before it's too late.
But yeah, so I'm actually really excited for the Deadpool movie. They're using the script by the guys who wrote Zombieland. Ryan Reynolds is still attached to it. I'll bet your ass you're gonna probably see Cable in there. Somebody had fantasy cast for Cable, and the only name that kept popping up, I don't know the guy's actual name, but the dude from Avatar with the white buzz cut. I don't know.
The bad guy from Avatar.
Yeah.
Who was in that dinosaur TV show that I was the only one that watched.
Oh, After Earth.
There was a dinosaur.
No, not After Earth.
Primeval?
No.
No.
It was on Fox for like 3 episodes.
Yeah.
After Primeval?
Terra Nova.
That's it. Yeah.
I had to think
We're
first.
bad nerds.
Yes.
Listen, that show didn't last. And nobody wanted to buy it afterwards. Netflix.
But we remember what the Equalizer is.
Yeah.
All right, so we're
Terra Nova was
old,
like super expensive, and they had a whole like lead off how what was going to happen in the next season. They found the crate, and something was in the crate, and you're going to tell you about the crate, and I was betting it was Nazis because I always bet on Nazis with sci-fi stuff.
Speaking. I can't say that. That's not.
Yeah.
I was gonna say something. I'm not
Hold that thought there, Chief.
But,
All right. Anyway,
so,
let's get on some kind of path.
we're way off course again.
Well, we started talking
about Terra Nova. The Cable movie. You know what I always thought would make a cool Cable? And I mean, he's getting a little old for it now. Nick Nolte.
Gary Busey.
Ron Perlman.
Yes.
Oh, Ron Perlman, a good Cable.
Ron Perlman would be good. A good Cable. I think Gary Busey.
Yeah, you know what? I'm putting my chips. I'm putting my cards in.
I'd want Gary Busey to be like Demolition Man or what was that D-Man from the Avengers?
Yes.
Oh God, D-Man, low budget Daredevil.
Well, he wasn't even low budget Daredevil. He was just like he had costumes from everybody. He had like Daredevil's shirt and like Wolverine's pants.
No, he had Wolverine's mask.
Wolverine's mask. That's what it was. Spider-Man's pants.
He was like every little kid you see.
One of Captain America's gloves.
He was
that
putting on stuff
sock.
in the garbage or something.
He's that kid you see walking around in Target that's got the Superman shirt, the Batman cape, the lightsaber. He's just everybody.
And that's the one you just walk up to their parents and punch them.
And you're like, how dare you let your kid leave the house without a proper costume? It's terrible. All right. Well, since we're talking about Marvel and we're in the Fox neighborhood, you said, Chris, you had stuff on Fantastic Four.
Well, there is some Fantastic Four stuff, but I'll get into that in a second. First off, there's a rumor that Fox is looking into doing a live-action X-Men TV show.
Yes.
Because I'm to the point where, as much as I love my superhero movies and my superhero TV shows, they are getting close to milking this for all it's worth. and I'm kind of like, I just can't. I don't know if I could deal with another superhero show.
Well, you don't even watch Arrow.
I'm trying to get into Arrow, and Flash is coming on in like a week or so.
Tomorrow.
Tomorrow, yeah. All right, tomorrow.
And Arrow season 3 starts Wednesday.
Yeah, so I'll get caught up on that. And I have a weekend to myself in a couple weeks, and I'll just.
I'm terrible. I haven't watched Gotham yet.
Yeah, I haven't watched Gotham yet either.
I've been waiting to sit and watch it with the kids, and they're so busy. I haven't had a chance to watch it.
Constantine's coming on in like a week or so too.
Yeah,
I'm looking forward to Constantine.
See, I was thinking about avoiding Constantine.
Yeah,
Just because
it's in the Friday night death
show.
slot. It's in the Friday night death slot.
If I've already added Gotham and Flash to my world of TV shows and superhero TV shows, then there's some Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. spinoff that's going to happen.
Yeah.
Well, that's going to happen in the mid-season of Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., so it's going to be like the show's not ending. Like, you know when they take that break in January or whatever?
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it's going to take that spot. So
because already my DVR, like Mondays now, is shot for my DVR.
Your DVR is crying. Like, no more.
But yeah, I think I'm more excited about Constantine than I was about Gotham. So I kind of just put Gotham out of my mind.
I came into Gotham with very low expectations, and I've enjoyed it much more than I thought I was going to.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, I've heard it's decent, but I'm just
it's good.
I'm Batmaned out.
My only concern with Gotham is it's gonna run out of. It's gonna try and do too much too soon.
Yeah.
Like everybody's gonna be an established villain in Gotham.
That's my problem.
Still gonna be 15.
That's my problem with the show right now is that they're introducing everybody as kids. Like,
yeah, well, it's different than that. They're not quite introducing everybody as kids. Selena Kyle was there, and that kind of works. There was a slight introduction of Poison Ivy, but they haven't done anything with her, and I don't know if they're going to get back to her right away, if at all.
Mm-hmm.
They're doing a nice slow burn on developing the Penguin character.
Okay. That guy looks sleazy and slimy as shit, man.
He really is, and he's great playing that. Like, you can definitely see him developing into a crazy gangster.
Okay.
I'll put it this way, it's a good cop show right now.
Mm-hmm.
And it doesn't have to get into anything. It's not ventured into the fantastic at all.
Mm-hmm.
You know, and it's made some references to things, other characters. There was a little they panned the skyline and there was a Queen Consolidated logo on one of the buildings.
Cool. Yeah, which is interesting. I guess his dad would be owning it at that point.
Yeah. And that's the other thing. I'm trying to figure out the time frame, like when this show is taking place. Because in my mind, if you're gonna have like young Batman, it's like, oh, late 70s, early 80s. And I'm like, no, if Batman's 12, is 15 years ago, it's the late 90s.
Yeah. We're so old.
I'm ancient.
Fuck. But
I don't hate it. They're spreading it out. There's a couple things in it. They have Edward Nygma in it, and he doesn't need to be there.
Old is Nygma in the show?
Young.
Oh, okay, like
not a kid. He works for the police forensics department.
See, I would have figured he was like the same age as Batman. See, that's where I'm like, like you would think he'd be like just.
When it really comes down to it, if you figure Batman is 12 in this,
mm-hmm.
and if Nygma is 22, 24, you move it up 15 years. Batman's 27, Nygma's 35.
Yeah, I guess.
Yeah, I mean that's not that bad.
Yeah, it's all in a ballpark.
Yeah, I guess it's just that when you're thinking of them as kids, you're like, okay.
You know, Penguin is a little older, so that makes sense that Penguin is somewhere in his 20s now.
No flippers?
No flippers. He's a normal. Well, he's not. I was gonna say he's not a normal person, but he is definitely a.
He's not Danny DeVito.
He's not Danny DeVito.
And he was expecting 5 chubby digits.
Thank God.
Yes,
But-
and he's not working with Max Shrek.
No.
They
But
did,
anyway,
the character they did introduce, this Fish Mooney character.
She's not making it past season 1.
You know,
Penguin's
I
going
could
to take
see
her
her
out by the
sticking
end of
around
season
for
1.
a little bit more, and then replace her with Falcone's in it, Maroney's in it. You know, those are 2 established Gotham gangsters. Renee Montoya and another guy from the Gotham comic book that I'm not familiar with.
Bullock?
Bullock is in it,
Yeah.
but Renee Montoya's got a partner that is somebody who I don't know.
Oh, okay.
But he is a comic book guy. I want to say Alan something or other. He's a black dude. Apparently, he was in the Gotham comic, and then his character gets killed, and he's the Spectre.
Oh, okay.
No. Okay.
I got you. All right. But I don't want to say too much because I haven't seen the show yet. So let's move away from Gotham.
Well, I'm not really giving away anything in the show. I'm just kind of telling you.
I know.
But
And then I've seen some other trailer stuff, and there's been a couple other things that they mention and talk about that I feel it's moving in the right direction. I just am worried that it's going to move too quick about kind of fan servicing us too much with here's this guy and here's this guy.
Yeah.
Tell a story, incorporate some of it. I know I saw a teaser trailer where they teased Zaz.
Nah.
And he's only got a couple of marks on him.
Boo.
So that kind of works. But anyway.
Okay.
all right. Well, going
Check
back
out
to
Gotham. Catch up. Go
Going
watch it
back
now.
to
It's on now.
going back to what I was starting to say.
You know, another thing.
Every time I start to say something, Mike talks. Stop.
Like, if I was going to make this Gotham show in the 60s.
Remember,
And
don't.
use the
I know
old
where
cast?
I know where you live.
No, this is tell me. You guys have to see it so you can kind of pick this up. But if you were gonna make it in the '60s, the Fish Mooney character, Eartha Kitt would have been perfect playing her.
Okay.
Okay. And that's the one that Holly
Jada
Berry's
Pinkett
playing.
is really kind of
Or Jada Pinkett. Jada Pinkett.
yeah.
Yes.
Jada Pinkett is
Okay.
kind of without going too over the top. She's definitely channeling Eartha Kitt,
Okay.
I believe, for her Fish Mooney character. That is all.
That name's fucking terrible.
You sure?
I'm sure.
Okay.
When I keep talking, if I said.
Chris gonna kill you. All right. Go ahead, Chris. Talk about Fantastic Four.
FML, man. Anyway, this is going to make me even happier. So it was a great segue, Mike. Great segue. Everybody's favorite new Human Torch, Michael B. Jordan, not to be confused with the
Michael Air
greatest
Jordan.
basketball player to ever live.
I would be more interested in seeing this movie if Michael Jordan, number 23 from the Chicago Bulls, was letting
absolutely.
the Human Torch.
Absolutely.
Like an all basketball playing Fantastic Four.
The Harlem Globetrotters.
That would be fantastic. I
Yeah,
would
if it
see
was
that
Michael
happen.
Jordan is the Human Torch. Charles Barkley is the Thing.
Patrick Ewing as the Invisible Woman.
No, Patrick Ewing is Mr. Fantastic because he's
Oh,
kinda tall
true.
and lanky.
Yeah.
Bud Webb as the Invisible
And
Woman.
their hair's kind of similar. I was going to go with Reggie Miller's sister, so at least it was a woman.
Yeah, there you go.
No
Well,
way.
then I guess you'd have to have like Reggie Miller and Reggie Miller's sister as the Invisible Torch.
Yeah, true.
The Invisible,
Invisible
Torch.
Torch. Mike, you can't talk anymore.
Sorry.
But anyway, he was giving some interviews last week, and he talked to, I guess, ABC News, and he promised that the costumes in the Fox reboot won't be cheesy.
Yeah, he said they're containment suits?
He said, it's a new look. We're all in containment suits. It's gritty. It's a gritty film.
Fuck gritty.
Yes.
Fucker, come on.
That's what I think about when I think about the Fantastic Four, how gritty it was.
I'm thinking gritty, and I'm thinking, because comedy and stuff doesn't work in a superhero movie. I mean that Avengers movie tanked, and that Guardians of the Galaxy movie didn't make any money.
Not at all.
But then the other thing he said was he said we worked hard for 3 months and put a lot of time into it. 3 months in movie, I guess, is not really, in my opinion, is not really a lot of time. But hey, he says
you got
acting-wise, 3 months.
I guess acting-wise, 3 months. But I'm not an actor, so I don't know. But he said the script is very
But you can play
grounded.
one on TV.
I do, and poorly at that. The script is very grounded and relatable to everybody as much as you can. You really get a chance to grow with these characters. It's an origin story. You get to discover these abilities, these disabilities rather, and grow with them.
I died.
And then I blew my brains out.
I feel like every interview that somebody gives about this Fantastic Four movie, that they might as well just show up and be like, hey, anybody that was ever a fan of this, go fuck yourself.
And Marvel is taking that because Marvel, the big rumor coming out of the House of Ideas is that a month before this movie's hitting theaters, the Fantastic Four is done. They are canceling the comic.
Yeah, but they're gonna
They're disavowing them.
They are. From what I've been hearing, there's been rumors, and again, this is just rumors, that they've been kind of erasing any hint of the Fantastic Four around anything Marvel.
Well, Marvel Heroes, the game that you don't play that much, and I still play all the time. Whatever happens in the comics and the movies will not affect the game. That the Fantastic Four will still be there because there's so much turmoil. And now they have the actual four from the Fantastic Four in the game finally, so that's gonna stay.
Is Herbie there?
Yes, Herbie is there as a pet. Remember when they were
Herbie is there. Herbie is in Lego event or Lego Marvel too. Which is awesome. So is Howard the Duck.
Speaking of Lego, real quick, Lego Batman 3 unlockable character Kevin Smith.
Kevin Smith.
I did say yes.
Wait for it too, which is kind of fun.
But yeah, I just feel like they're doing everything just to shit on fans of the Fantastic Four that they can. And I've never been a huge Fantastic Four
I appreciate them.
I appreciate the Fantastic Four. I like them, but I'm not going out of my way to pick up a Fantastic Four comic. But I mean, this just sounds
terrible.
I've read Fantastic Four in the past. At different times I would get into it. And one of the things that was enjoyable about it was the family dynamic of it. Like every time we talk Fantastic Four, I always say The Incredibles was the best Fantastic Four movie.
Oh, absolutely, absolutely.
I know that they're trying to distance themselves from previous Fantastic Four fuck ups, but you're distancing yourself from the source material again.
You're distancing yourself from the source material and kind of making this sound like it's going to be a gigantic Fantastic Four fuck up.
It sounds like it. Yeah,
but
it sounds like it's
out
of any of them. And
the other thing that came out we didn't get to talk about last week was that they announced that Johnny and Sue are going to be stepbrother and stepsister, and she's going to be the adopted one.
Yes.
Right.
Which fine, they answered that.
Either
way, one of them had to be adopted.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, it's you're gonna shoehorn something in else that's different because we're trying to make this so different.
And Dr. Hobo Doom.
Diversity.
Dr. Hobo Doom.
Not just an old wooden sailing ship.
The only thing I've seen that looks promising out of this movie is Thing. The bus that they had as the stand-in for Thing. If that's what Thing looks like in the movie, that's so far the only thing they got going good for
Well,
it.
I'm sure they can make a cool thing, but how is he gonna be? How's the character gonna be?
It's just gonna be like a Thing action. Hey guys.
Yeah. It's just very stiff, just cardboard cutout-y, just the mouth cut out like the old '60s cartoon.
The Conan O'Brien bits.
Yes. When I read that article about them canceling the Fantastic Four on Facebook, and one of the comments that somebody put was, "What Marvel should do is turn the Fantastic Four heel in the universe."
Oh, that would be brilliant.
And then they're captured, they're locked up in the vault or wherever they put their villains now, and they're kept there until Marvel gets the rights back to the Fantastic Four, that they're just these horrible villains that killed children and did all this. So they listed what they would have all four Fantastic Four people do on these horrible things, and then when they get the rights back, it was revealed that they were life model decoys gone awry, or Skrulls, or whatever.
And they could
and then the Fantastic Four was saving the galaxy on the other end of the plane of existence.
And and what would be cool, they could change like the uniform colors. They could be like black and white.
Yeah.
No, orange and black. Orange and black.
Black and white. Reed Richards could have like a shoe polish beard and stuff.
Yes.
It would be
You have a fucking handlebar mustache.
handlebar mustache, shoe polish beard, the Fu Manchu, and just be referring to everybody as brother. But
And the Thing has a goatee that he just dyes a little bit.
I think you got a soul patch.
and then all of a sudden just can't cut a promo ever.
Yes.
What's your name? My name's Thing. Horace
That's the
Thing.
movie I want to cast now. Hulk Hogan is Mr. Fantastic.
And Horace Hogan
Scott
is the Thing.
Steiner as the Thing.
No, Horace Hogan is the Thing.
No, I just did the whole
No,
person.
it's got to be Scott Steiner as the thing.
Horace Hogan as the Invisible.
Yes, Horace Hogan's All
All
right, that's all the Fantastic Four stuff I got.
Yeah, we did have a little bit of Avengers rumors coming out, but not for Avengers 2, but for Avengers 3.
We're okay about talking about a movie that's like
That's not even written.
3 years out.
Listen,
That's not even
we're
written.
going to talk about Batman Superman until the end of time. So let's talk about Avengers 3. Basically, they're saying that the
I
core...
hear that they released another picture or something from Batman Superman.
I think they did. I think you saw the end of Batman's cape. I have no
You
idea.
get to see what Alfred's shoe is going to look like.
Yes.
I don't care.
Apparently, what they're going to do is, in Avengers 3, a lot of the core Avengers from Avengers 1 may not be in it. Iron Man, or Tony Stark is signed... Or Robert Downey Jr. is signed on for Avengers 3. But the other guys are kind of in negotiations still. So you may see over the next few movies a shift in the lineup, which is not uncommon in the comics.
That happens in Avengers all the time, yeah.
Yeah, but it might be a little jarring for movie audiences.
Well, maybe they're keeping it open in hopes of being able to plug in Spider-Man,
Spider-Man or the Fantastic Four.
Fantastic Four,
Deadpool.
Wolverine.
The other rumor is that they're going to fill Avengers... Well, they're not really filming it back-to-back, but since they're going to have whoever they have for 3, they're going to try to squeeze 2 movies out of Avengers 3 and make that like the Infinity Saga. Actually, they were saying Avengers 3 and Guardians 2 might tie in like that.
Yeah,
That would definitely be cool.
And
I
I
would
can
love when they do it
definitely-
as a trilogy, an Infinity.
Yeah,
Yes.
like an Infinity trilogy, like kind of have it done that. I think that would be the best way to go, because then you're not trying to rush things.
No. And Marvel's doing good with not rushing things.
And then you can incorporate as much as, guys from the Netflix shows, Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., whoever they want to.
And there's also rumblings that they might turn it into Secret Wars.
Which I'm fine with. I'm fine with. But the problem with that is
No
a
Spidey.
lot of the major
And then
players
make
in
it a Venom
Secret
movie.
Wars.
Hawkeye gets a new costume that's really alive.
Yeah.
And then
But that's the thing. A lot of the major players in Secret Wars, and even like going Civil War too, that they're tied up at other studios that are fucking them up.
Yeah.
did you guys see the fan-made Civil War trailer?
I
put
did.
it up on a Facebook page
Yeah.
where they had
think so.
taken clips from a bunch of the other movies and tied them in real nice to kind of give you a Civil War vibe for it. It was
If Marvel owned everything.
yes, if Marvel and everything, Spider-Man and Fantastic Four, and X-Men's.
Yes. Howard the Duck.
I own Howard the Duck again.
They do own Howard the Duck. I actually am really scared for the Spider-Man franchise, just because Sony just isn't letting that go at all.
They're gonna let it go eventually. Eventually Disney's gonna throw enough money at them and be like, just we're taking it. We're taking it.
Yeah, but you know what happens when Disney takes it? Well, Marvel, they already said they're not going to do any more origin movies. So hopefully, if they get the rights from Sony, they could just be like, listen, Spider-Man's been Spider-Man for 10 years already.
Yeah, I could see that.
Splash screen. See previous movies. You know the origin.
Yeah, if you still need to get this explained
If
to
you need
ask
to
the guys
understand that he was bit by a radioactive spider, you don't need to see this movie.
Can I say I find something very disturbing today? That this was something that we feared was going to happen when Disney took over Marvel. That is kind of coming to light. Tori was homesick today, so we were watching the Disney Channel because she watches all that shit. And apparently on Ultimate Spider-Man, the cast of Jesse is going to be in Ultimate Spider-Man, and he has to save them.
I don't know what Jesse is.
I don't know what that is, but I'm okay with that because Disney has another show that keeps incorporating all of my favorite stuff. So I allow that.
I know. Jessie is, I don't know if, well, you guys don't see it, but the girl from Zack and Cody got her own show, Jessie, and now she's a nanny in New York.
I don't even know what Zack and Cody is.
I hear words, but I don't know what you're.
All right, basically he has to rescue a nanny.
Okay.
Okay. All right.
That's fine.
Ugh.
That's fine. That's okay. You get some girls watching a Spider-Man cartoon.
Cool.
Fine.
Yeah, I guess from that point, but I looked at Victoria, I'm like, is that really happening? She goes, yeah, I don't like it.
I would love if Spider-Man had to wrestle.
Wrestle? He has to wrestle Jessie?
No, if he had to rescue the nanny.
Oh, God.
Fran
Drescher? Like, make it really New York-y? Like...
Oh, my God. It's terrible.
No, just no.
No. Fran Drescher, no. All right, moving on, because that just ruined everything.
That did just ruin everything.
Oh,
it just brought that.
Tell
brought
me
the
that
whole,
it wouldn't be great
that just
to
brought
have
the whole
a
room
screaming Fran Drescher being, getting spun away with Spider-Man, she's
Fran
Drescher.
That would
not be
Fran
great.
Drescher.
That would not be great.
Fran Drescher as Typhoid Mary.
Fran Drescher as the character she played in UHF, sure.
Yes.
Fran Drescher as Mary Jane. Moving on.
Moving on.
What do you got, Chris?
David Lynch fans can rejoice a little bit
Yes.
because as of 2016, we are getting new Twin Peaks. It's going to be on Showtime. It's going to be 9 episodes. It's going to take place 25 years later in real time because it is going to be 25 years later. I'm excited because that was probably one of the greatest TV shows ever, and I'm a huge fan of it. And
I
it
still haven't
kind of
watched it.
ended.
Don't tell me what happened.
It ended abruptly.
Yes. Is that still on Netflix? It's one of those things I know I had it on my list.
I think
It's not
it
there
might-
anymore.
No, I thought it was.
Yeah, I think they took it off on the last couple weeks, actually.
Really? That stinks.
Yeah,
But Galaxy Quest is on Netflix now.
it is, which that's the best Star Trek movie ever.
That made me happy because I watched it earlier today.
I love that movie. Such a good movie.
Yes, we watched Galaxy Quest recently. It ran on cable and I recorded it because Angela had never seen it, and I'm like, you have to watch Galaxy Quest
It's a good movie.
because that's one of those movies that me and my dad love. That we can just watch it anytime that it's on.
Yeah.
Like Galaxy Quest, Die Hard, Predator. There's a few of those movies that are just.
I remember the first R-rated movie my dad let me watch was Commando. The first action-y R-rated type movie. And I just remember the dude's head the top of his head getting taken off with a saw blade. That image just burned into my skull from the time I was 7 years old.
All right, good news for everybody. Twin Peaks still on Netflix.
Oh, okay.
Good.
Were there only 30 episodes?
Yes. It was short. It was only 2 seasons.
And then a movie, Fire Walk with Me, right?
Yeah.
Firewalker.
But the movie is a prequel, so the movie doesn't the movie doesn't explain anything that happens in the last episode of Twin Peaks. So
and there's a psych tribute to Twin Peaks.
Yes.
That was pretty funny.
So
Even not knowing Twin Peaks that well, I enjoyed that.
I highly recommend it. It really is one of the greatest shows ever, and I'm a huge fan of it. It was done well. It was weird. It was really weird.
I can remember watching an episode or two as a kid and enjoying it. And it was one of those things that I wish I watched this from the beginning. But it was VCR days back then, and that was a whole. You had to contribute a lot of time and effort and videotape.
Yes. Speaking of tapes, did you guys watch the Goldbergs yet?
I love the Goldbergs. Dude.
Did you watch this season though?
Oh, absolutely.
My
My wife is so cool. She bought me season 1 of Goldbergs.
Nice. I didn't watch the second episode of the season yet. We just watched the first episode. Fucking mixed.
The mixtape? Oh, the mixtape episode was hysterical.
Oh, God. I was cringing. I'm like, I remember doing mixtapes.
this past week, they did. It was school playtime.
Yeah.
And the school play they were doing was Jesus Christ Superstar.
Yes.
And Adam didn't get the part he wanted, so his mother.
So he They were going to put on a
They're going to
production
put on a production.
of the greatest 80s musical of all time.
Starlight Express.
Oh, God. Don't even say anymore. I have to watch it tomorrow. I can't. No. Holy shit.
Because the only thing bigger than Jesus
Starlight.
is a train.
Yes.
Nice. All right.
Yeah, I wound up watching it. I was babysitting my mother. She just had knee replacement surgery, and nobody was around, so I went to go have some dinner with Mom. And we wound up watching The Goldbergs, which she had tried watching it and wasn't that into it in the first season, and then we watched a whole episode. She's like, oh, it's kind of like Wonder Years. I'm like, yeah, it's like Wonder Years for the 80s. She's like, yeah, it's not really my thing. I'm like, I know why you don't like this show. Because the USS Flag is in this show. Never got me.
That episode. I mean, what's great is when I first started watching it, I was kind of like, there was stuff that was like pissing me off because it wasn't time correct.
Oh yeah, he always says 1980.
And I didn't realize until I got the DVDs that he says 1980 something.
Yeah.
But that episode stood out in my head because it was just like he's like, this is the USS Flag. He's going, and I jumped up off the couch and I'm like, nobody ever had the USS Flag. This is bullshit.
Now I didn't even see that episode. I saw another episode where it's just in the background.
Yeah, that Flag.
Nobody had that. Nobody had that.
But
then, what was funny was with this past week's episode. Not to spoil too much, but Barry's storyline, and I love Barry. Barry is the best character in that show. Was trying to get beer. He had a fake ID and he was trying to get beer.
Oh, I saw that one.
Or I guess that was a mix. That might have
that was a mixtape.
Yeah, that wasn't in the yeah.
That must have been a mixtape one then.
Yeah, I was just gonna say
I missed the mixtape one, and then we went back and watched it after last week's.
Okay.
But he says something about going down to the Wawa.
Yes.
About buying beer at the Wawa. And I'm like, that's bullshit. You can't buy beer at the Wawa. And then Dawn Griffin, one of the artists we interviewed at Amazicon, who I'm friends with on Facebook, and we were kind of going back and forth about it. And it was just like that. It's like that's one of the few mistakes that show made was the fact that you can't buy beer.
You can't buy beer at Wawa in Pennsylvania?
Nope.
You can't buy beer anywhere in Pennsylvania. Well, no, you can buy beer places.
You can buy beer certain places like there are some supermarkets that have like you can buy 6-packs. Everywhere else, it's what's called a beer distributor. Because we have out here in Pennsylvania,
right.
It's all fucked up because we have beer distributors and we
remember that.
And state stores is where you buy all your hard liquor and your wine, and the beer distributors is where you have to go and you have to buy a case of beer.
Or you could just stumble on like a pizza place that sells beer. There's no rhyme or reason to it. It's just
a dozen years ago, a Wawa convenience store in West Philadelphia was permitted to sell beer.
No, all right.
Okay.
So,
that's like the Rousers in South Amboy that sells booze.
Yeah.
And apparently they're allowed to sell beer in Florida, Maryland, and Virginia also.
Yeah, well, that's
Florida, Maryland, and Virginia. There's no laws there.
It's a great.
Have you ever seen the people that live there? It's
a lawless wasteland. No offense, people. Okay, moving on. We were talking about a little bit of sci-fi before. I got a little sci-fi news. Terrible sci-fi news. Fucking god-awful sci-fi news. There's going to be a new video game movie being developed. An epic sci-fi video game movie being developed of Tetris.
Oh, God.
By a production company known as Threshold Entertainment. This is good. And they've partnered with the Tetris company to produce a movie adaptation of Tetris. How?
But there is less confusing sci-fi news that's coming.
Well, my
thing
with the Tetris movie.
Yes.
Is as long as the music plays the whole movie, I'll be fine with it.
Yeah. That it has to. It absolutely has to.
I wanted
You know what? It has to
90
be.
minutes of anticipation, waiting for the straight long piece to show up.
All of a sudden,
You know what? It needs to be. It needs to be like a human centipede version of Tetris, where like some crazy guy is like stitching people in like weird positions to each other.
it's a human building.
I was thinking space battle, and you had to like assemble ships, kind of like Voltron.
Yeah.
You had to make a big square Voltron.
Yes, the producer of this movie is the guy who was behind the Mortal Kombat films of the 90s. So the first
fantastic! So it's
one,
gonna be
was very good. Second
First
one,
one was good. I don't know if I'm gonna go with very good.
compared to Super Mario Brothers, it was very good.
Apples to oranges, man. Apples to oranges.
Yeah.
But yes, his
Compared to Street Fighter,
okay,
here's very good.
here's his quotes. It's a very big, epic sci-fi movie. This isn't a movie with a bunch of lines running around a page. We're not giving feet to the geometric shapes.
Well, then I don't want to see it. I don't want
You're ruining the source material.
They're just gonna have different spaceships.
It's like if you took you took a movie about like a board game where like you rattled off numbers and you either got like a hit or a miss and you sank a ship. Oh wait, they did that.
Oh, like Battleship? But then in the movie, you don't have them. It's an alien invasion. Oh, all right.
The best movie ever based on a board game was Clue.
Yes.
I hope Tetris opens opposite.
And the fact that Clue had multiple endings was brilliant.
Yes.
I hope that I hope Tetris opens opposite Batman Superman. That's all I have to
I'm all
say.
psyched for a Tetris movie now. And I hope actually is the same summer as a Tetris movie, a Dr. Mario movie.
Yes, Dr. Mario.
Yes.
Hidden character in Smash Brothers.
Be like Dr. Mario, but like Breaking Bad.
Yes, it's
Walter White, Dr. Mario.
Hey Luigi, we gotta make us some meth.
Mario, you bitch.
But there is some interesting
These
sci-fi.
pills were Percocets all the time, my Luigi. That's why this game was so addictive.
Chris gonna kill you again.
No, I'm letting them go.
Okay.
But there is some interesting sci-fi news coming out. And you brought this to my attention, and I will not watch this movie, but the new sci-fi.
Oh yeah.
Which it was announced like 3 weeks ago, but I just because we're talking about sci-fi movies, and like gotta talk about it. Which was what was it?
Lavalantula.
Which in the spirit of Sharknado and Sharknado 2, which comes out on DVD tomorrow, October 7th.
Yes.
It's Lavalantula, about giant tarantulas that spit lava.
Steve Gutenberg.
And Steve, it's a Police Academy reunion because Gutenberg is in it, Michael Winslow is in it, and
Leslie Easterbrook.
And Leslie Easterbrook is in it.
And Nia Peoples and Ralph Garman are also going to star in the film.
Nice.
Yes.
I might watch it.
They're basically, as Ralph Garman described, he was talking about it on Hollywood Babylon a couple weeks ago. He said basically him, Gutenberg, and a couple other people are driving around in like a station wagon fighting lava-breathing tarantulas.
Fantastic.
Awesome.
Lavalantula.
Now, I don't know if you guys have caught up on your Z Nation at all.
I have not, because I don't have sci-fi.
Oh, that's right. And then Chris, I don't know where you left off with Z Nation, but I'm struggling through it.
I kind of lost interest quick.
Yeah, I don't know. I think I'm going to keep recording it, and it's going to be like those days
where there's just nothing else on.
When there's nothing else on, I might have it. Bill Moseley guest starred in an episode this past week. Bill Moseley of House of a Thousand Corpses and Texas Chainsaw Massacre 2 fame.
Okay.
And various other Rob Zombie pictures and things. Hell of a nice guy. I've met him at a couple of the conventions. But they were teasing next week's episode where a tornado is going to tear into wherever they are. And that tornado is going to up zombies and launch zombies at them.
I've seen that movie.
It's a zombie.
In the trailer, Yeah, Z-NATO they called it.
Oh,
Yeah.
But in the trailer, one of the characters goes, "It could have been worse. Could have been sharks."
Sharks.
Yeah.
Fuck.
that show has jumped the shark. A
The show
sci-fi
jumped the shark with the killer baby.
Huh.
The end of the first episode was really where the show lost all credibility.
Yeah. And that's kind of where it did it for me too, where I just was like, I just can't. Like I wanted to like it. I kind of wanted it to be my Walking Dead filler,
Didn't happen.
but it just doesn't.
I
I was rooting for it. I was, but I just can't.
It seemed like it had a lot of potential, but the hippie character got a zombie stoned in this past episode.
What?
Yeah, which didn't make any sense because they don't breathe because they're dead. There's just things, but it has some interesting things behind it. Like it could have went somewhere, but it's missing. It's just misfiring. And the PJ Squall's character.
DJ Qualls?
PJ Qualls. PJ Squalls.
DJ Squalls.
Same difference. Same difference.
Skrillex is
Skrillex.
He just comes out.
What the fuck is a Skrillex?
Wow.
Skrillex is the dubstep guy. Hold on,
I know what a Skrillex is. I'm just being a wise ass.
Okay, wise ass. But with his character and being isolated and alone, there was some interesting things they could have done with that. But they're just going so goofy with them that it's losing me. I don't know. I guess I want it to be Walking Dead, like you said. I want it to be Walking Dead, and it's not. It is not. If Walking Dead is the prime rib, filet mignon of zombie TV shows,
This is the McRib.
This is the White.
This
This
is
is the
hamburger,
White Castle.
yes.
Yeah,
Yes,
this is the
this
White Castle.
this is all right. I wanted some zombies. I got some zombies. I wanted this. It's
I wanted a burger. I got a rat burger. Same shit.
it's never going to be great, but I'll probably keep on watching.
Speaking of which, damn, I want some White Castle.
I'm not going to overcommit to it, but
No.
They're opening a White Castle in Forked River, apparently.
Yeah.
I'm so excited.
boo.
All right.
Not a White Castle.
Do you have any other news? Because I do have. I forgot. I have a what the fuck story.
I have a what the fuck story too. We can run them. We can do them both.
Okay.
The only other kind of big thing I had. I mean, it's a big thing for us, but it's not really a big thing because there really haven't been great Saturday morning cartoons in years. And I think the last station that was running Saturday morning cartoons was the CW, and they were running a lot of weird Sonic the Hedgehog shit.
Yeah, it was
There is
that.
a new Sonic cartoon coming out though. That looks really good. Sonic Boom.
But this past Saturday was the first Saturday in 50 years where there was not a single Saturday morning cartoon run.
It's terrible.
And that breaks my heart. Because our children aren't going to understand the joys of, as I saw it in some article, getting up and getting a big bowl on a Saturday morning, getting a big bowl of some sugary cereal and sitting down and watching, some great cartoons.
Yeah. I was thinking about it, and I can even remember, like, when we got a VCR, then I had the option, too, of if there was a cartoon on Channel 4 that I liked and a cartoon on Channel 7 and they were on at the same time, I could take one
Yeah.
while I watched the other. So I could watch Saturday morning cartoons for another 2 hours.
And, I mean, we grew up in the prime.
I remember right before Saturday morning cartoons premiered for the season, they would have a Friday night special.
Oh, yeah.
Premiere special where they'd show you
That
clips.
shit was awesome.
And it would be hosted by, like, somebody from a popular, like, David Hasselhoff and Kid would host.
Yeah.
Or Tina Yothers or somebody from...
But in the 80s when we were growing up, in the 80s and the early 90s, there were, I mean, Saturday morning cartoons were amazing.
Mm-hmm.
In the 90s you had X-Men, you had The Tick, you had all that good stuff. And that's kind of when it did start tailing off a little bit. But the 80s just had such great cartoons, and not even counting the standards, the Bugs Bunny Roadrunner Hour, and there was Scooby Doo and stuff like that. But stuff like obscure shit like Kid Video and
Oh my god, I think about Kid Video all the time.
yeah, Kid Video, Dragon's Lair, and the Pac-Man cartoon, Space Ace,
Mr. T and Friends,
Mr. T and Friends, and it was just a
Pole
great
Position.
time. Pole Position.
Remember, there'd be cartoons for live action shows like a Gilligan's
Rambo.
Island.
There's Gilligan's Island. There was the
Not
Karate
Gilligan's
Kid.
Planet. I'm sorry, it was Gilligan when they were in space.
That's right.
There was a
Happy Days.
Happy Days, the Fonzie and Laverne and Shirley cartoon hour or whatever it was. We had Popeye cartoons in the 80s, new Popeye cartoons.
We had the real Ghostbusters.
We did. We had 2 different Ghostbusters cartoons, one good, one shitty one. I still watch the shitty one.
Ninja Turtles.
Ninja Turtles. Thundar the Barbarian.
Yep.
Yeah.
USA Cartoon Express.
USA Cartoon. Well, USA Cartoon Express came a little bit later.
Yeah.
I want to say late 80s with that, where they revived some of those earlier 80s cartoons.
Grape Ape.
Yes. There was all that great Hanna-Barbera stuff.
Yep.
You had Super Friends that evolved into Challenge of the Super Friends.
Meanwhile, in the Hall of Justice.
You remember there was the Gary Coleman cartoon?
Yeah.
Oh, the Macaulay Culkin. Remember WizKid?
No, I don't remember. That was 90s.
My brother was a huge fan of WizKid. Like stupid ass Macaulay Culkin cartoon right after Home Alone.
And that was one of the other things that the VCR came into play when me and my brother became lazy teenagers and we weren't going to get up first thing Saturday morning, but we wanted to still watch Saturday morning cartoons. We set the VCR to tape X-Men and the Tick and whatever else that was interesting that was running on Saturday. Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles ran for a good part of the early 90s.
Yeah.
That was another one that was the big near and dear to our hearts one. And then even Saturday morning cartoons in my drunken stupors of coming home and waking up and watching the Spider-Man animated series or one of those. I can remember watching Spider-Man all hungover when my buddy Joey crashed his Le Mans on my lawn.
Nice.
Sounds like a good time.
Yes.
I remember waking up one morning and Power Rangers was on. And my brother was a huge Power Rangers fan. And Chad was over, and we looked like, is this Godzilla?
Is this Godzilla? No.
Do you remember they used to run those big 2-page ads in the comic books for the Saturday morning cartoon line?
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Where it was going to be like Mr. T, Shirt Tails.
Captain N, the Game Master.
Yes.
That's great.
The Super Mario Brothers Super Show.
Yes. But on Fridays they showed Zelda.
Yes. That was you're right. That wasn't a Saturday morning cartoon. That was
a during the week cartoon.
An afternoon, yeah. Cartoons until Soul Train came on, or Solid Gold, or American Bandstand, or whatever channel you were watching.
That's when you went to go play outside.
You went to go play outside, and then you came back and watched the Godzilla movie.
Yep.
Yeah. So that kind of sucks that there are no more Saturday morning cartoons.
I mean, cartoons are still around.
Cartoon Network, XD.
When you think about it, there's 3 networks playing cartoons now. There's a Nicktoons, there's Cartoon Network, there's Boomerang.
And there's Disney XD, which is mostly
Disney XD, which is half.
Yeah.
I mean, they show a lot of great cartoons on Disney XD.
Yeah.
So it's not like cartoons really went anywhere, but that feeling of Saturday morning cartoons being gone.
Big ass bowl of cereal sitting in front of the TV.
Yeah. Box of donuts, whatever I can remember watching Saturday morning cartoons on a little portable black and white TV someplace if we had to go somewhere.
Yeah, you kids today don't know about black and white.
Black and white. I remember watching a black and white antenna TV in my grandfather's office when we used to get dumped off at my store. We'd sit in the back and watch cartoons until it was time to go home.
Nice. That was weird as hell. We just had a glitch in the Matrix. I don't know if you guys saw that.
What?
Yeah, it was
Chris
weird.
Chris's wall behind him was there, but Chris wasn't there.
I kicked the wire out of the light that's in the room, so I was trying not to say, hey, guys, I'll be right back. But no, I kicked the wire out and then I couldn't find a wire.
I got scared. No, I got scared. I've been playing too much Five Nights at
I was
Freddy's.
just gonna grab my phone and just hold my phone under my chin and be like, hello.
All right.
That would have fucked you up.
Let's move on to our what the fuck.
Or what the fuck? Who wants to go first?
You go first.
What I was thinking too, and I know I should have talked to everybody beforehand. about this Saturday morning. I haven't done a top 5 list in forever. But through the course of Saturday morning cartoons, I think we should come in next week with a top 5 list.
Of our favorite Saturday morning cartoons?
Of our favorite Saturday morning cartoons.
Absolutely.
Okay. It'll be our eulogy for Saturday morning cartoons next week.
Yes.
And we're actually going to stick to this one.
We hope so.
Listeners out there, remind us.
I'm making a note now.
Yes. Because I already got my 5 in my head. Maybe. I might have to switch out a couple, but whatever. But yes, you go first with your what the fuck news, because I want to see if your what the fuck news out what the fuck's my what the fuck news.
I don't know if mine is gonna out what the fuck news yours, but mine was just isn't really even what the fuck news. It's just kind of weird news.
Okay.
And my weird news is that an ultra marathoner, which is a guy that ultra marathoners run 100 miles.
Is that when a regular marathon guy gets killed by Galacticus? And
yes. Ultra marathon.
But an ultramarathoner runs like 100 miles. For his marathons are like 100 miles plus or something like that.
Stupid.
And those people are insane and should be committed.
Yeah.
But he was trying to run, in quotes, from Florida to Bermuda. Now, for those of us that don't have a map in front of us, there's water.
Yeah.
Between Florida and Bermuda.
Did he have snowshoes?
But he was running in one of those inflatable bubbles.
Oh my god!
Like a big hamster ball?
Exactly, like a giant hamster ball. He was running across the ocean in a giant hamster ball.
Holy shit! Did the shark eat him?
I'm not going to be able to pronounce this guy's name. It's like Reza Baluchi. According to his website, had set a goal of running across.
The guy from Wu-Tang Clan?
Yeah, he might have been a Wu-Tang Clan. Yeah. Had set a goal of running across more than 190 recognized nations to encourage world peace.
Okay.
The Coast Guard first encountered him on Wednesday after receiving a report about a man in a bubble off the coast of Miami, disoriented and asking for directions to Bermuda.
Excuse me. Excuse me. That way? That way. I'm a little disoriented.
A Coast Guard cutter found him. Officials described the craft as, and in quotes again, a hydro bubble, a hydropod bubble, and a man.
Listen.
And they basically described it as a big hamster wheel.
And this guy, he didn't have any support crew or anything? He
had no support. He had no support crew.
This is how I die.
The Coast Guard said he had protein bars, bottled water, a GPS, and a satellite phone.
Then why did he stop for directions?
Because I guess he had no signal. The Coast Guard conveyed the voyage's dangers and asked him to quit his journey because he didn't have enough supplies. But he wouldn't leave his vessel, so they let him go. They let him go on his way. But the Coast Guard, being the nice people that they are, monitored his progress, and on Saturday morning, he activated his personal locating beacon because he was lost and he was tired from running on the fucking ocean.
That's just, I don't even, how do you even do that?
I wish this ended with it being a guy in Cape Town, South Africa, found a skeleton in a big plastic bubble.
Unfortunately, it doesn't. They rescued him, and they rescued him 70 nautical miles off of St. Augustine, which is in Florida.
Mm-hmm. Of course.
He was exhausted and taken to the Coast Guard Air Station in Clearwater, Florida, where his medical condition was evaluated. There were no reported injuries.
So Bubble Boy didn't make it.
Tested him, and it turns out he's a moron.
You know what he should have been running for, Will?
$500.
$500. That's what he should have been running for.
I gotta watch that movie again. I love that movie.
So
you know what? That might actually out what the fuck my what the fuck news.
Really?
Maybe. Mike's gonna have to be the judge.
Mike's gonna be the judge. Mike's gonna have to be the impartial judge.
It's gonna be tough to top. Idiot
Bubble Boy. Yeah.
Trying to run to Jamaica.
Here's the headline: These guys threw chainsaws at police during a car chase in Georgia. In what sounds like a plot device from a 70s Hanna-Barbera cartoon, Wacky Races, police are looking for 2 men who threw stolen chainsaws at police cars during a car chase in Duluth, Georgia. The chainsaws and a weed whacker are part of a group of 19 items the two men allegedly took from a store during a smash and grab. The report states 13 of the items have been recovered. But yeah, these idiots were driving down the highway, throwing chainsaws at the police officers chasing them. So, yeah.
Oh my.
That's close, but it's Georgia.
It's Georgia, so it's like.
It's Georgia. Mine was the middle of the fucking ocean.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Nice drop.
Yeah, I gotta give it to Chris, I think.
I gotta go. Yeah, I gotta go. Guy in a
I didn't realize you were
trying
gonna
to run
drop
to
Bubble Boy in the ocean
the Bahamas.
and beat my shit.
As I said, mic drop.
That's like Batman. I'm still getting around the physics of the bubble because you know it's hot as shit.
Because what I'm picturing.
Oh, yeah. It's gotta be like running in a giant ass magnifying glass.
It's so fucking hot.
That's like airtight too, and there's no. Oh my god! It must
running
be
in a fucking Pokeball across the ocean. That's basically
Yeah.
what you're
It must have smelled like fucking.
doing. Asshole.
And he was eating. Only imagine.
He had a
Just
brand,
armpit sweat and farts.
he had a bran muffin. It's fucking terrible. All right.
So
I think-
going back to mine though. Going back to mine real quick because there was a second half of this that I didn't see when I was reading it. His businessman and one of his supporters said, Reza doesn't listen to anyone. He has these outside ambitions that he sets his mind to. He's a success above and beyond anyone's expectations. It's almost biblical. You gotta be a little crazy to undertake such an endeavor, right?
Reza ain't nothing to fuck with. That's what I got out of that.
I haven't read the Bible in a long time, but I don't remember people run. I know Jesus walked on water, but I don't remember him running in a bubble from Florida to Bermuda.
You know who would know that answer?
I think it's in that
Cameron?
Mormon Bible,
Nicolas
that
Cage.
third one.
The Book of Mormon?
The Book of Mormon, I think that Jesus got a big plastic bubble in there. And he lived in a bouncy house. And
Or Fabio came down and said, on Plentax number 2 or 3. All right. I think that's where we're going to end it this week.
Yeah.
real quick, because I've been sitting on this story for 3 weeks.
Never letting it go, Mike.
I do have one reminder this week.
Okay.
I'm tired of looking at it.
All right.
The Stan Lee story that was going around. And it was really a non-story, but somebody had come up with a theory that Stan Lee was the Watcher in every one of his Marvel superhero movie appearances.
I will agree with that.
Which kind of made it cool and kind of made it fun. And then Stan Lee and everybody else denied it and took all the air out of it. Instead, everybody just staying quiet and being like, oh, that would be a cool reveal that Stan Lee eventually turns into the Watcher at the end of, somewhere in Infinity Gauntlet.
He just closes the book.
Yeah.
Like Alanis Morissette at the end of Dogma.
Yes.
We've had a lot of Kevin Smith references this
We
week.
have.
Yeah. We were a lot of off-roading today. I hope everybody wears their seatbelt.
Well, we were off for 2 weeks, so we're all concocted.
Yes, we are.
Or as people out here would say, cattywampus.
The fuck is
cattywampus?
Cattywampus is a word that I drive my sister's boyfriend crazy with because it's such a weird word, but it kind of means askew.
Yes.
That's a fucked up word to say, askew.
It is.
Yeah, I've used cattywampus in construction. You'll run
in construction terms, yeah. But
if a cat gets messed up, and sometimes if I say askew, I'm talking above.
You're talking above
my
the guys.
colleagues.
Yeah.
It's and then they get mad because I'm using words they don't understand, and they start throwing hammers and chainsaws at me.
and we whackers.
Yep.
But my last little thing was, don't forget this Sunday, Walking Dead is back.
True story. I might miss it though because I think we'll be traveling.
Yes.
I'll be back. I'll watch it on Monday.
I'll text message you everything that happens.
It's fine.
Spoiler.
But we'll be up in Lake George this weekend, so.
Daryl's gonna die.
The saddest part is when Daryl dies.
Daryl's gonna die.
They didn't die from zombies, you guys, from all that gay stuff they've been talking about from the internet.
I'm just terrified. I'm terrified for Glenn.
No, Glenn's good for a while, I think.
I don't know.
If they're gonna do it, they're gonna do it correctly.
Yeah, I know, but
And this guy isn't him, so Glenn is safe.
all right, good.
But that's it. That's all I got.
All right, that's all I got.
I'm done. I'm spent.
All right. So, our normal places to find us is ninjaverse.wordpress.com, facebook.com, twitter.com/ninjaverse, or the Ninjaverse, youtube.com/ninjaverse, all the normal places. We'll be blasting out that we're changing our old shows. If you can't download them right now, will be up on SoundCloud probably in the next couple of weeks. Maybe we'll have Chris go through our archives, and maybe on our off weeks we could put up a Ninjaverse classic.
Ooh.
Maybe.
Something like that.
But
Maybe
that
we'll
would
get off our
require-
asses and do a Tales from.
That would require me going back and having to listen to every show so we know what we were talking about.
You didn't know what we were talking about.
And that would require you paying me.
Listen,
Yeah,
nobody-
sounds like a job.
ain't nobody get paid. Sell some shirts, we'll get paid. All right. I'm Will,
I'm Chris.
I'm Mike.
and we'll talk to you next week.